Good afternoon, and good afternoon again. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the disclaimers, if you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non for profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so folks, you know the drill. Please read that article. Share it on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. All right, folks. Trigger warning one. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center and Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use the headphones, all right? Trigger warning two. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised, all right? Okay, so where we left off, let's make it short and sweet, shall we? In contrast, the safety of ESDs has not been equivalently studied. Yes, my point from the last video. This is not to suggest that a finding of substantial equivalence to an existing device type must rely on adequate and well-controlled studies as if the sponsor sought new drug approval. Rather, it indicates to the FDA that the safety profile for pharmacotherapy used in relation to SIB or AB or the underlying conditions is better understood than the safety profile for ESDs for SAB or AB. In particular, that AEs are better understood. It's because it is undergone with much more rigorous testing that the risks are made so clear. It is in the JRC's best interest to hide that information. Okay? The reason why we don't know it is the JRC doesn't want you to know it. And the reason why you can't get it anywhere else is because no one else on planet Earth, even third world dictator countries, are crazy enough to engage in this type of so called treatment, even in so much as a study. Okay? Just putting it out there. Kind of have data on something when there's only one place that does it and you can't trust the data that they send you. Rather, okay, let's continue where we left off. All right. The data and analysis for such pharmatherapies are more robust because of the available data and information for ESDs suffer from various limitations discussed throughout this rulemaking. The biggest one being only one place on planet Earth still uses this type of barbaric medicine. Therefore, there's no way to corroborate whatever data the JRC decided to cook up that day. If you can't corroborate it, if you can't replicate the results, pseudoscience, kids. That's pseudoscience. We all know how I feel about that. Whereas the clinical studies for these drugs do not. As such, pharmacotherapy pre-market data provide more complete understanding of risks, reducing any concern regarding underreporting of AEs. In other words, kids, and what should be obvious to everyone with two brains to cells to rub together, in actuality, being a part of pharmacotherapy, as opposed to being subjected to this house of horrors, is actually far better for one's health. You're far better able to articulate if there is an issue that you're having that may be or may not be caused by the pill, then you are stuck in the psycho center. In fact, you have a lot more data that backs up the pills that are on the market to help deal with these types of behaviors than there is for the gut. Pills have their problems. Do not get me wrong on that. There is a whole host of problems there, all because even in pharmacology, they are still married to that same idea of let's make the autistic person neurotypical. But I'd take a pill over having to be put on a human shock collar, wouldn't you? And wouldn't you trust something like a pill that has undergone absolutely insane amounts of scrutiny, test, and trial over a device of dubious data that we know is designed to hurt people? We're going to close on that. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do do tend to get removed from time to time. So if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea do hope you have a good one. I'll see you probably tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone.